Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Joy-Filled Universe podcast. I am your host, Lisa Ryan, and today we are going to go big into the woo and talk about a tool that I absolutely, positively adore, which are the beautiful, the vibrational, and all-around fun to work with crystals. That's right, these beautiful gems. They're not just pretty to look at, they are actually ancient tools that have been used for things such as manifestation, healing, energy alignment, protection, and so much more. And in today's episode, we are going to discuss how to use some crystals with a focus largely around my personal go-tos, which include strawberry quartz, citrine, celestite, jade, pyrite, and clear quartz. And I'm also going to bring in a air quote crystal that became very popular right around 2020, which is the very mysterious Moldavite. So let's get our sparkle party started here and start exploring some of these really beautiful gems. Crystals have been used for thousands of years, largely for their energetic properties. And one of the reasons for this is because crystals are formed deep within the earth under intense pressure and heat, which causes their internal structure to become highly ordered. And this order then creates a consistent vibration, a stable frequency that can interact with our own electromagnetic energy fields. So we have learned in the past from the wonderful world of quantum physics that everything is energy. Your thoughts, your emotions, your body, everything has a frequency. And when we are manifesting our desires, we want our energy to be in alignment with our dreams. And crystals can be used as a tool that can help with raising, stabilizing, and refining our vibrations. Yep. And guess what? This isn't a new idea. No. As mentioned just a second ago, ancient cultures have used crystals for things like protecting warriors in battle, for intuition and courage. And the Aztecs, the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Chinese even embedded crystals in their weapons, their armor, their jewelry too, just because they believed that these gems carried divine frequencies from the earth and the cosmos. So I'm no ancient warrior, that's for sure. I'm definitely a lover, not a fighter. And maybe in a recent lifetime, I could have been a warrior, but I'm not too clear on that. But regardless, let's talk about some of my personal go-tos and why I love them and how I actually apply them in my everyday life. And first, I'm going to kick it off with strawberry quartz. Oh my goodness. I love, love, love this crystal. I used to carry around rose quartz, and that crystal is really well known for love and harmony. And this is certainly not a knock on rose quartz, as I think it's super awesome. However, I had read about strawberry quartz about 4 years ago, and it just felt like a vibe to me, literally. And maybe that's because I love strawberries in general. It's seriously one of my favorite top 5 foods, but I'm thinking more so maybe it's because of what it really represents. Strawberry quartz is all about love, not just romantic love, but self-love, universal love, and just full-on joy. So if you're looking to manifest a life of compassion and joy and love and connection, this is your gem. Strawberry quartz encourages grounding in love, and it also helps to clear emotional blockages. And I bought it when I was actually living in Texas. I felt very alone there back in like the 2021 year because it was still COVID lockdown, and going outside was very difficult because it was always just so stinking hot and you really couldn't go anywhere because everything was locked down. So I largely just stayed inside reading books and snuggling with my adorable dog Lily Rose Sunshine, as well as my sweet little birdie Anthony. Oh my gosh, R.I.P. Anthony. He was my beautiful little feathered friend who passed away in the summer of 2022. He was 27 years old. Yes, a very, very old bird. And in fact, he was a cockatiel, and in the Guinness Book of World Records, the oldest one on record was 32. So I was really hoping we were going to hit that new record, but regardless, he lived a super great life, and he grew with me in just so many ways. And God, I had gotten him when I was just finishing my undergraduate study. So I really miss him. I loved him. I still love him. So I miss you, Anthony. And oh, what a great memory. Anyway, see, that is the magic of strawberry quartz. So just talking about it bubbles up this unconditional love and just joyful memories for me. So anyway, okay, what else does strawberry quartz do for me? Well, oddly enough, it really did attract lots of relationships into my life. Honestly, manifesting a special someone was a desire that I had. And once I acquired this lovely gem, I was suddenly being asked out on a very routine basis. Because it was still lockdown, I would head back to the Washington, D.C. area on occasion to work from there so that I could meet up and hang out with friends that I had there, because that was largely my home. Well, I was meeting guys at the airport. Some guys who were kind of in like my friendship circle were stepping up and asking me out on dates. A gent who is now my current boyfriend is someone that I became connected to through friends. And every time I came back to the Washington, D.C. area, he just became more of a routine date that I was going out on. And, and eventually became the relationship it is today. But either way, at that point in time, it seriously became very surreal. So much so that some of my friends were creating like fun names for everyone just to keep them all straight. And above and beyond that, this stone also aided in expanding my friend group. I finally did start making some friends in Texas who I still keep up with today. And I became even closer to some of my existing friends because due to the distance, we would just make it a concerted effort to do like walk and talks where we would have these couple times a week. We would set a time, we'd dial each other up, and we'd both go out in our respective states and go for a walk. And so while we're catching up, we're also getting in some exercise. And I also started using the Marco Polo app, which is like a video app where you stay in touch with friends almost like in real time. So it's not exactly Zoom, but you're just video recording yourself. So you really do feel like you're spending time with them. So did strawberry quartz do all of this by itself for me? No. As a matter of fact, we always have to take inspired action when it comes to manifesting our desires. But because I was aligning my vibration with the vibrational frequencies of the crystal, it helped to amplify my vibe. And when you apply tools like this, it really just fuels your desires, and your like energy attracts like energy, and then voila, you're off to the races. So I still use my strawberry quartz today, and I often carry it with me in my purse because I'm always open to meeting and making new friends. You can never ever have enough friendships in your life, as far as I believe. And I personally don't have a very big biological family, so my close friends are like my chosen family, and I take those relationships really to heart because they mean so much to me for many reasons, and I'm always just so grateful for them. So you now might be asking yourself, how can I work with strawberry quartz? Well, you can certainly do lots of things. Like you can hold it while you're visualizing and journaling too, most especially if your thoughts are vibing around relationships, self-love, confidence, joy, friendships, things like that. And I even take it with me when I'm going out for some exercise, just like a little crystal tucked in my pocket. So when I'm out in the sunshine and nature, it's a terrific way to just open yourself up to the energy that the crystal has, or any crystal for that matter, and just it attracts that vibe into your world while you're out in nature. And by the way, strawberry quartz is a lovely rose color pink, and I recently learned too that it comes in like a green color, literally called green strawberry quartz, which by the way, I went out and purchased. So yes, I love that. I just love strawberry quartz. Anyway, moving right along. Let's talk about citrine. Oh, this incredible gem is definitely a crystal for manifesting. Citrine is associated with our center of will, our confidence, taking action, and it's known as the merchant's stone because of its connection to wealth and abundance. And here's a really fun thing about citrine too. It does not store negative energy like some crystals can, and we'll talk about cleansing in just a bit, but it doesn't store negative energy. It actually transmutes it. So when you're using citrine for things like manifesting financial, creative, or energetic abundance, citrine can help with keeping your mindset and energy clear and clean and focused. And despite the fact that citrine is actually my birthstone, for many, many years, I didn't really love it because I didn't like the deep, deep amber color. However, over the years, I really became quite fond of citrine, largely because I learned that citrine is typically a transparent yellow to like a smoky champagne color with a bit of a golden hue. It's really, really super pretty. And it appears that there is a version that is that deep amber color, and that's because it's heat treated and it brings out that super deep orangish amber color that I was talking about. And either way, citrine is like the sunshine stone, and I love it. Now, one way that I have very recently applied citrine this year was that I wanted to practice bringing money into my life. People are always talking about manifesting money, do this, do that. And I thought, I'm going to give this a go. So I grabbed my citrine and my pyrite, and stay tuned for pyrite. That's coming in just a second. But I combined them together and I kept them with me. And every day I would message to myself things like, money flows effortlessly to me, and things like, I am financially abundant and have more money than I need. So all these mantras, I just kept running them through my head. And within 1 month's time, I kid you not, I was alerted to the fact that I was actually going to get a tax return this year. Yes, I had not received a tax return in quite some time. And so I was super excited. And it wasn't just like a couple $100. No, it was actually, it was more than that. It was several thousands of dollars. So I was stunned. And I also went on a very rather large shopping spree because I have been big on just clearing out my closet and all these clothes that just piled up during COVID. It was like time to just purge and get rid of them. So I went out on this big shopping spree to kind of like replenish myself. And when I was at the checkout, this lady noted that it was the last day for this big sale. So when you purchase over a certain dollar amount, you got like an additional 20% off on top of some of the additional sale items that I didn't even know were on sale. So let's just say at the end, I looked at my receipt and I saved close to $700. Yes. I felt like I hit the lottery. I felt like I needed to go back and buy more. And anyway, and then I also received my annual bonus at work, which turned out to be far more than I had anticipated. And then there were just like these little small things. Like, for example, my mortgage payment went down due to the company had been overestimating the funding needed for my escrow account to pay my property taxes, right? So that went down. I found my favorite running shoes on sale for $50 less than I usually would pay for them. I received like a free bottle of water with my lunch. I got a free Uber ride because I had built up points for some reason. And then I went to book a ride and it was like, your ride's free. And I also got upgraded to first class. So when I was going to visit my mom and dad, so I flew to them and home all first class. It was such a fun exercise. This was all within 1 month's time. And I was just so excited. And was this all due to the citrine and pyrite? No, not entirely. But having that extra energetic vibe that was aligned with mine helped to amplify the energy. And I was just showered with abundance. Hashtag grateful indeed. So for citrine, try coupling it with mantras that align with this lovely crystal's energy, and perhaps put it in your pocket so that every time you become aware of it, you recite your mantras to yourself, hence amplifying your vibe and attracting like energy. Also, keep in mind that you don't want to mess with how it happens. Just be open and allow it to happen. And as a matter of fact, I'm just going to make myself a quick note right here, because that's a pod in and of itself. The hows versus the allows when it comes to manifesting. Very important. Okay, I'm going to move right along. Celestite. Oh gosh, this is a breathtaking crystal. It is so, so beautiful. And Celestite is the divine telephone line, in my opinion. If you are tuned into angels, this beautiful blue crystal is totally their calling card. It is this amazing angelic blue, and it is so incredible when looking to manifest peace, spiritual connection, calming your nervous system and opening up communication to the higher realm, like angels, master teachers, spiritual guides, God or source or divine or universe, or whatever term you use and choose to apply when you're tuning into your super universal power. This is your gem. Now, I don't really have like a monumental moment to share about Celestite. However, I do use it when doing intuitive writing, which is, in my words, a writing exercise where you allow your loving inner voice or subconscious to just flow freely while revealing insights, which you may not consciously realize. It's a total vibe for sure, and I will be happy to discuss that more in depth in another episode. Okay, so when I'm feeling unsettled or overwhelmed with fear-based thoughts and emotions, I grab my Celestite. It becomes my calm, and I picture angels' wings just wrapping right around me, and it's a type of protection, and I find peace in knowing that I'm safe. And also something I just want you to keep in mind when it comes to angels. Angels don't usually come around unless you ask them to, unless you're asking them for assistance. Only your guardian angels can like lean in without a request, which is why they're your personal guardian angels. Yeah, like I said, Celestite acts as this angelic calling card. So when you grab your Celestite and align to that vibration, the angels are like all ears with unconditional love and the true desire to assist you. Angels are just so incredible, and I love that they are found in several major religions as well as your new age and your esoteric beliefs. So maybe we'll explore a pod on angels one day too. I think that would be a lot of fun. All right, now let's talk about jade. Jade is a very recent gem in my go-to crystal collection because it's known for prosperity, harmony, and protection. And it's considered a stone of luck and financial success. It kind of attracts abundance that isn't just in the form of money, but it's in the form of opportunities and resources, and also aids with emotional healing and balance. And it helps to reduce like frustration and irritability that you might be experiencing too. Now, from the protection perspective, jade has a super rich history in Chinese culture, going back like over 7,000 years. And many Chinese warriors wore jade into battle as like this protective talisman. It's believed to protect against negative energy and physical harm. And it can also help when making difficult decisions because it keeps you grounded when it comes to making thoughtful choices. So I think most of us know jade as being this beautiful like seafoam green to dark green color. Well, it also comes in colors such as lavender, which I would totally love to find, white, yellow, and I believe black as well. And it's just become a new favorite of mine because it aligns with many of my desires when it comes to building my joy-filled universe business. Jade is known to align us with manifestations that are not just flashy material desires, but also align us with our soul, like those deep desires for harmony and peace. So I have been keeping jade with me often, and I also just recently placed a piece of jade in the wealth and business area of my home, which is when you stand at your front door and you're looking inward, it's like the far left corner of your home, or even just the room that you're in, if it's like your office. And I think in more traditional feng shui, it's the southeast area of your home. And I'm also thinking feng shui would be also a super fun episode. So I'm going to make another note. Okay. My goodness. So much future content is being discovered in this pod, from intuitive writing, angels, feng shui. What a dream to have so much self-development tools and tricks that we can apply. And I'm going to start to think that it's probably because I have my little crystals here right in front of me, so I can go through this order. And I think that their energy is being channeled and kind of like amplifying my energy. So I'm going to go with that vibe. Okay, so like I said, I'm largely getting more acquainted with my jade. So I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know how it's going and how things unfold. All right, now, Pyrite. First of all, pyrite is probably one of the only things I remember from my junior high school classes in earth science. Why? Because it's that super golden, sparkly, incredible gem. Now, many of you probably know pyrite as fool's gold because early miners who were digging for gold were often tricked into thinking that they hit the jackpot because they came upon the beautiful pyrite. And I'm just going to say that pyrite is far from foolish. In fact, it's one of the most powerful stones when it comes to manifestation and shielding your energy. Pyrite is strongly linked to prosperity and financial growth, and it is known as a money magnet, especially when applying that feng shui technique that we just discussed. Remember that far left corner of your home or the southeast corner? Yeah, put some pyrite there. So if you're looking to bring in some moolah into your life, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're making a career shift or maybe just overall looking to up-level your income and mindset around money, pyrite is your crystal. It aligns to your personal power, your self-worth, and it helps to banish self-doubt. And it also boosts motivation and encourages decisive action when looking to achieve your goals. Now, remember our pod about energy vampires? Well, pyrite is your gem when it comes to that kind of negative energy. It helps to protect and deflects unwanted energy so that you can stay grounded and clear-minded when finding yourself in draining environments. So for me, pyrite, as noted earlier, has definitely shown up in a financially abundant way in my life. And the more I am going through this pod, the more I am thinking, it's time to go get my pyrite out and launch some more rockets of desire. Let's go, money magnet. All right, now lastly, clear quartz. Clear quartz is amazing. And it doesn't just hold energy, it actually amplifies energy. And what I mean by that is it can boost the energy of other crystals along with your own intentions. And what is really cool about clear quartz is that it is programmable. What I mean by that is you can set intentions with your clear quartz and it holds that frequency, which is really something you want to be aware of, because if you're in a low vibe state and you start wearing clear quartz, well, watch out, because that crystal is going to be picking up on your vibe and amplifying it and bringing more of that energy to you. So clear quartz is like this universal megaphone. So whatever your thoughts, desires, and emotions are, the clear quartz is going to be messaging that loud and clear to the universe. And here's something really, really cool. Clear quartz can actually generate an electrical charge under pressure, which is one of the reasons why it's used in things like watches and computers and all types of other technology. And I'm just going to say that I largely use clear quartz as a complement to all of my other crystals. Whatever vibe I'm aligning to, whatever frequency I'm looking to put out there, clear quartz is going to amplify it, which means if I get out of my own way and keep resistance out of my path, clear quartz is acting as this easy pass to my manifestations, all coming in to my reality. Now, speaking about those super amplifiers, I just want to give a quick shout out to the wild child of the crystal world, which is Moldavite. Moldavite is not technically a crystal. It's in fact a tektite, which is a natural glass object that is formed when a meteorite impacts the earth, or I should say when a meteor impacts the earth, because after it impacts, then it's a meteorite, right? Okay, so make that two things that I remembered from earth science class in junior high. Just gonna say. Okay, well, apparently Moldavite was a result of a meteorite from 15 million years ago, and it is largely found in the Czech Republic. So this makes Moldavite extra special because it carries both earth and cosmic energy, which is why it's a tektite. And there was a TikTok made about Moldavite back in 2020, which caused it to go viral. And then people really just started sharing lots of wild stories about how it changed their lives overnight. So whether it's breakups or new relationships or career changes or living situations, spiritual awakenings, you name it, This is what's really crazy about Moldavite, because it doesn't just accelerate change. It kind of just like clears what isn't aligned with your vibe and gets it out of your way. And it can feel super chaotic. And because of this, it really isn't a tektite or crystal or piece of glass, whatever you want to call it. It really isn't for everyone or every moment in your life. However, if you're looking to take that giant leap, this is your crystal. In fact, it is called the Stone of Rapid Transformation. So Moldavite is considered one of the highest frequency stones, and it triggers intense life shifts to clear away what no longer serves you. And it does it at such a rapid pace that it can often feel really overwhelming. However, what it's ultimately doing is clearing the path between your soul's purpose and your current life circumstances, which helps you to align with your highest timeline towards desires that really serve your highest good. So Moldavite doesn't cause or create chaos in your life. Rather, it accelerates transformation. And I purchased a piece of Moldavite. It was this itty bitty piece because after the TikTok, it became just so expensive. But I purchased my first little piece around January 2022. And then I purchased another bigger piece in November of 2022. And during that timeline till present, I am going to say that I moved my entire home, kit and caboodle, packed it up, moved it even to 2 different states 3 times. I made a giant career position shift at my current place of work. I met my boyfriend, who I'm still with today, happily. I started and finished my coaching program, which resulted in 3 certifications. I started my own company, which is the Joy-Filled Universe, LLC, also on the Instagram. Also online is a website, but that's still coming. And I have a podcast that I produce on a weekly basis. And I have established several new friends who I have become very close to. And even, I'm going to say, I was able to shed just a couple of energy vampires who were no longer serving my highest good. So was this all the Moldavite? I certainly think that it definitely helped to accelerate all of the above. And I'm going to say I actually put it away for a little while to just allow myself to catch up. But like all the other crystals that I've mentioned today, I think I'm getting ready to get it out again because I'm definitely ready for some more growth and transformation. So I could go on and on about crystals because they are so special, unique, and beautiful. And I just want to message a few more things here really quick. There's a way that you can cleanse your crystals. Most, not all, like clear quartz and citrine, but most need to be cleansed from negative energy because they're just absorbing that all the time. And a few ways to do that is to just let them rest in sunlight or moonlight, most especially if it's a full moon. And you can let them stay there for like 24 hours or not even, just 12 hours. Let's let them stay there for a full sun cycle or a full moon cycle. And another thing you can do is you can also just put them with a piece of selenite, which is another crystal that is known to help cleanse crystals just easily. So they sell selenite in like slabs, they sell them in pieces. There's a whole bunch of ways to get selenite. So that's another way of cleansing as well. And how often do you do it? Whenever you feel like it. And actually, people have told me, some people have said that they often feel their crystals feeling heavier. And once they cleanse them, they feel lighter. So if you feel that vibe, do that too. It's whenever you feel called to cleanse them. That's the time to do it. Listen to your intuition. Also, there is no crystal that is bad for you. These beautiful gems are creations of the universe, and there isn't anything out there that is meant to bring you ill will or harm. Just remember that like energy attracts like energy. So if you are in a low vibe state, perhaps take that into consideration before picking up a clear quartz, say, which will only amplify that energy vibe. And remember, crystals like you are energy and they vibe at certain frequencies. The most powerful crystal for you is the one that you feel drawn to at that time. Your intuition will know best and your vibe will align with the crystals. So follow that. And lastly, crystals are tools to use along your amazing life journey. They are a fun way of raising your vibe and accelerating manifestations into your reality. Yet at the end of the day, you are already your most powerful vibrating being. And you, the person who chooses to believe, align, and take inspired action, you are your own real magic. Crystals are just really fun and help with amplifying that magic. It's all about awareness and applying any remarkable tool or trick that's out there that's going to help elevate your world so that you can get out there and live your best life. So whether it be strawberry quartz, citrine, celestite, pyrite, clear quartz, or moldavite, or any other crystal that you love, have fun with it. Set your intentions, wear them, meditate with them, place them in a special feng shui area of your home, place them under your pillow at night or on your nightstand, carry them in your pocket, tuck them in your car, or simply just display them in your home. There's so many wonderful ways to bring the magic of crystals into your life, and all of these ways only serve your highest good. So have fun with it. Let me know what your favorite gems are and what do you do with them? Where do you put them? I'd love to hear your stories. Okay, my friends, that is a very sparkly wrap for this week. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend, rate, follow, and even leave me a review. All of this really helps me out, and it takes just a few seconds of your time. So thank you so much for your support. And I am your host, Lisa Ryan. This was a very woo-filled episode of the Joy-Filled Universe, which is the podcast where we explore all the tools and tricks that are going to make your universe even more joyful than it already is. I will see you next week. Bye.